Hi there, YouTube friends. This is Adam again, and here today with the Positive Grid Spark Go amp. So this is a very, very cool, let's call it a device, because it's much, much more than an amp. It's pretty cool though. We're going to check it out. We're going to go over it. So yeah, this thing's pretty much blown me away. But there are a couple minor things that, may throw you for a little loop. It's either not being talked about or it's not being talked about much. So yeah, I wanted to just put out a little video on this cool little device. So yeah, we'll check out what we're going to use today, what we're going to go over. Again, like I said, it's much more than an amp. So what I see it as is a Bluetooth speaker, a guitar amp, bass amp, an amp for anything basically. And then also guitar pedal. Because yes, you can hook this into bigger equipment if you wanted it to be louder. So we're going to go over that, and that way we can, figure out how to do that as well. So, all right, stay tuned. Just a second. Hold on. Okay. So the Positive Grid Spark Go amp. Or device. Their smallest one that they have. Very, very cool. It's very well made. Yep, we're going to go over that. Then, obviously, we're going to need some cords. And then I use that little guy for plugging it into a bigger amp. Now, the pedal board is optional. I do highly recommend a pedal board. So I guess right off bat, the Positive Grid, they offer I think it's called the Air Step. It is only a 4 switch, which is fine, but the biggest issue that I have with theirs is you have to have the app running to use it. So if you're playing live, you do not want it set up to the app. You don't want your phone going off and this and that. So this one here is the other one. This is on Amazon. Air Step PK. It's a 5, a 5-button one. The cool thing about this one though is it syncs right up to the app or to the amp, and you do not need to have the app running. So that's very cool. And then when we plug it into the bigger amp, I'm just going to go into my grandpa's old amp, old Music Man. As you can see, the volume over here just barely turned on, just a 1 or just even below, maybe a little bit above actually, I'm sorry. So yeah, it's not turned on much, so we're going to check that out. And then I am using the Joyo wireless system, guitar system. And then when we're hearing sounds, I'm going to go ahead and play the IYV Spalted. That's kind of what's going on. Alrighty. So 1 second, please. Okay. So I will try my best to keep the camera, not moving around too awful much. But this video is definitely a little more hands-on. So bear with me. All right. So when you're first plugging in the little amp to your guitar, obviously you're going to need a cord. So you're going to take the cord from your guitar into the little amp. So one of the problems is this amp, it's so light that most of the time, if you plug it in, you're going to turn it around and that thing's going to fall. It's either going to tip over or it's going to fall right off of whatever you're having it up on. So if you have it up high, that could be a problem. So I definitely recommend wireless. Any kind of wireless system. It's gonna, save it from falling down. Or if you're gonna use a regular cord, obviously, maybe try to position it in a place where it's not going to fall off as easy. But yeah, just be careful, watch out. All right, let's see here, just a second. Okay, so again, I have it hooked up to the little pedal board. So the sounds may be just a little bit different unless you, well, actually, no, I'm sorry, because if you have the amp, you'll have the app to be able to change all your sounds how you want it. So in my pedal board, I have like a 12 string sounding on one of the channels. Regular. Then I have a couple distortions. This is one of them for like a lead. So, yep, it's very cool to have the pedal board. So, let's say you didn't have the pedal board. So what I did for a while, if I'm just, I'm playing, I have 4 channels. So I had channel 1 and channel 3 identical clean, then channel 2 and channel 4 identical distortion. That way I had a clean, a distortion. I could, simply press a button quickly while I was playing. I mean, it still sucked, but at least I could press a button, to switch between the two. The pedal board has made all the difference in the world, especially since now I have the option to, I can either have the Bluetooth running through my phone. So let's say I wanted to practice. So I'm at home practicing, and so I'll put it through the Bluetooth, and I'll put on a jamming track. So a jamming track will be playing through the little tiny speaker, and then I can put on my distortion, and put on my distortion, and I can play over top of it, and both of them sound very good. You can adjust both volumes. There's a volume right here. I'll kind of put it up there. Not sure if you can see that or not. So right here, there's a volume up and down. That will adjust if you got the radio going on through there. And then this knob right here, this is your volume, the golden knob. You turn that, that's your volume for your guitar. So yeah, very cool. Okay. So, one of the things that they weren't talking about, I kind of touched base on it, that was going from wireless versus the regular cord and it falling off. Now, the other thing that they're not talking about is this little guy right here. So again, the Positive Grids version, it's just a 4-channel. However, like I said, you have to have the app running, which means you have to have the Bluetooth on, which means if you have any kind of notifications, they're going to come through your phone. It's going to dim the volume. It sucks. You can never play that live. This thing has been a game changer. This, I'm actually been using this live quite a bit, which is very, very bizarre. Something, so inexpensive can sound better than my pedal board that costs a lot more money. So yeah, I've just been blown away with the sound. And again, I'll hook the little amp into the bigger amp to see what that sounds like. I wish that I could have the Bluetooth running right now, but recording, I cannot do both, unfortunately. Okay, so one thing they're not talking about. So, with this guy here, it comes with some information. You have to, it's like a QR code. You can come up with the manual. It's got good information. However, so I was all excited. A looper, yes! Finally a looper, because I use a loop a lot in my other pedal board. So, it does have a looper. However, after a long time research, getting into the manual, discovering it will not work with Android. It will only work with Apple. So I'm an Android user, so that really sucks. So, however, in the future, it's just some software. They just they have to make it. So I don't know why they can't. Their apparent reasoning is it's much harder with Android. I don't buy it. Anyways, so regards to that was a big bummer. So no looper. However, for practicing, I still can, run anything I want through it. Through YouTube. It's very cool. And then, I could practice playing solo and over top of it. Yeah, very cool stuff. And then, like I said, I have the option of using it and not having the app running. So that means that my phone's not connected to it. So now it's just the guitar and the pedal board and the little tiny amp/pedal, and hooked into a bigger system. It sounds fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, all right. So yep, give me just a second, and we'll go ahead and hook it into the bigger amp. So give me a second. I'll show you how to do that. 1 second. Okay, hooking it up to the bigger amp, or any bigger amp. All right. So you're going to need, obviously, any kind of guitar cord. This is a smaller one. You can use a bigger one if you need to, if that's all you have. And then you are going to need this guy. So yep, this goes on that end. I can do it one-handed here. There we go. So that will go right in here. Is a little, like a headphone jack, but it's much more than that. So that goes in there. And the other one goes into the amp. And then this right here is for your guitar. So if you, again, I would go wireless. That way this thing's not falling over. But yep, guitar cord into there, out into your guitar. So then that's all there is to it. And then we turn them on. Let me find the little side button there. There it is. Turn that on. It's a nice old tube amp, so let it warm up for a second. All right, give me just a second. Okay, again, I have not touched the volume at all. The little Spark Go amp, also, it was not all the way up. I'm not exactly sure what it's at. I would guess 50% to 75%, maybe 80%, somewhere like that. All right, so it's hooked into the bigger amp. I don't think you can see it, but you should be able to hear it. So again, it's like a 12-string sounding first. So anyways, that's that one. Let's see here. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice being able to hook it into something bigger. And this, like I said, is barely turned on. I didn't want it to be too loud of a jump, too big of a jump. Yeah, I really wish that I could put the looper on and show you guys, but no looper. Or I wish I could do the Bluetooth, but I can't do it while recording. But hopefully, you get the gist of it. you know, some good things about it, some bad things about it. Now the app interface is very cool. I mean, it's got so many different kinds of amps, so many different kinds of pedals. You can tweak them. You can use, you know, anything you want. I mean, it is so cool. So many different sounds on it. I'm just scratching the surface. Um, but yeah, I've been really enjoying it. So I bet you guys would enjoy it as well. Um, so yeah, whether it's morning, noon, or night, I hope you have a good one, and I hope you take care. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.